Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. This evening's topic: brothers, stop being the cleanup men for other races. This definitely has been said and it's going to continue to be said. What I'm tired of is when I go out as an African American man, all of us are judged when it comes to getting women outside the black race of getting the scraps. Now, some of us do get the scraps. The problem I have with we as brothers, or us as brothers, for the most part, it's young and old. We don't have any confidence in ourselves when it comes to picking women. Also, we want to fuck everything in sight, and that is very bad on us as well. We believe that having many notches around our belt makes us men. And what we're doing, we want to be multicultural. And what I mean by multicultural, when it comes to having women, we want to experience every type of woman that we can find, whether she's black, white, Hispanic, no matter what. We want the melting pot around our waist. So what we do, we lower our standards so we can find any old non-black woman to have sex with. Now, here's the problem with that. When I discover a white woman talking slick, talking ghetto, that is going to tell me right then and there that she's been with a number of brothers. And at the end of the day, she also has mixed kids from the brothers. Now, here's where I'm going with this. When you get a non-black woman and she has the ghetto woman's mindset, brothers, you didn't do anything but get somebody outside your race that's got the same mindset of the woman in your race that you didn't want. That's a big problem. This is why you have to have standards. Now, it is nothing wrong with dating women of other races. It is nothing wrong with a plus-size woman as long as she is a plus-size woman and not a fat woman. Now, when I mean fat, I mean somebody who has no shape, they have a large stomach, no ass at all, they can barely walk, they can barely breathe, and they are a health problem. And one must understand here in America, the population of Americans, which is 77%, is considered obese. Now, when it comes to black men and being the cleanup man, a number of these women that come over to black men are basically women who other races reject. Now, it's not just the larger women, it's some of them are older women. They become old and crusty. They don't have anybody in their lives, and the men that they really want, they can't get. So they come to us. Like I said, they really don't want us. They just utilize us as last resort. The problem with black men, we're afraid to say no. We'll say no to anything else until it comes to a woman. And we'll take any woman, and I'm talking about black men, no matter what shape and size she is, because we don't value our dicks. We like to fuck a lot of women, but at the end of the day, we look at ourselves as being the lowest of the lowest. Why? Because the media always tells us that we're the lowest of the lowest. And we've always believed that. Our women have told us we're the lowest of the lowest. And guess what? We have always believed that. So whenever we go out and find a woman, we're always going to be talked about as getting women from the bottom of the barrel. And the worst thing about it, brothers, is we tend to build these women's egos up. This is why I tell you about online dating profiles. I see this more with white women who can't get white men. If I find that a white woman dates just black men, I'm not going to date that white woman. Why? Because I can tell you right now, she's already been indoctrinated with the black female ghetto mindset, or she's been with a number of brothers herself. She has the mixed kids. In her eyes, she's a black woman, and she's going to talk to a black man slick. She's going to think that she can call the shots. He's nothing. Again, he's going to hear that same jargon from her. Brothers ain't shit. He doesn't take care of his kids. And I would tell that undesirable woman, you ain't shit for dealing with an ain't shit guy. And that's what I tell any woman. But the bottom line, if you don't want to end up with that type of woman, brothers, what you have to do is raise your standards. This is why I did my previous videos on my 54 rules of dating. Now in the future, that 54 rules of dating will increase, and I will do another video on the new rules. In fact, I'm working on Men's Guide to Dating, the Smash and Dash version. Now, why did I say the Smash and Dash version? I'm getting off the topic a little bit, because there are men right now who are looking just to get their fuck on. It's temporary. And there are a number of women who just want to have sex too. What women do, they try to disguise themselves by seeking a relationship so they don't look like hoes. But we know they're hoes based on their track record. Women want sex just as much as men do. If you don't believe it, why are many women buying vibrators? Because they can't get enough. What women do, they want to let us know that they don't want sex. That's farthest from the truth. But back on topic. Let's get to the economic part. Going back to the economics. When it comes to a number of us black men, economically, we are not as financially stable as white and even Asian men. So basically, when it comes to women, we are going to get the bottom of the barrel. Why? Because we don't control anything. And you have to understand that dealing with women in America, women are commodities. They're bought and sold to the highest bidder. That's why you see the finest women with the guys making the most money. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen the finest women with some of the ugliest men. But the ugliest men have the money. That's the trade-off right there. But when you are in our predicament and you're just taking non-black women from other races, what's the trade-off? The only difference, the only thing that you're really getting is a piece of pussy, but you can get that from black women. But brothers are too sick in their head, a number of them, to realize this. They don't understand that they're being played, and they think going out there to get a woman who's non-black from another race really cares about them. Now, there's some that do, but there are a number of them who don't. All you're doing, brothers, is really building the ego of some of these undesirable women. Don't build their egos up. They're in the sewer. That's where they belong. And what do you find in the sewer? You find shit in the sewer. And when you deal with shit, that means you ain't shit. But at the end of the day, when you are dealing with a non-black woman who really doesn't want you, you're just wasting your time. Just like I did in previous videos. Dating with a number of women or dating a number of women is a waste of time. Black men, wake up, maintain some culpability, and have standards. Because if we don't have standards, we're going to get a whole gamut of undesirables that come to us. That's why when you look at us, we're about the only ones who are taking care of somebody else's kids. We take the most shit from a woman. We take a lot of unnecessary abuse. We're told that we're not educated. I mean, we are getting hit from all sectors. Why? Because the black man is an easy target. We get caught fighting each other. But when it comes to meeting these undesirable women, you have to ask yourself a question. How do they get this much power? Well, they really don't have power. They're cowards. Why? Because they can't get out in the real world and meet a man, so what do these undesirable women do? They utilize the likes of a Plenty of Fish, the OkCupid.com, the DateHookup.com, the Facebook, the Snapchats, or the Instagrams, and they put a picture and a profile, and they know how to utilize Photoshop to make them look like something different. They know how to change angles. They know how to take facial shots. And with a number of these online dating sites, a number of thirsty men say they're looking for women. And the women know that they're not looking for them just to have a relationship. They're looking for them to have sex with them. So what happens to these undesirable women? Well, they get all kinds of emails from guys telling them how beautiful they look. So what raises the undesirable women from the dead is that they have so many men emailing them, leaving them all types of email. The women see all types of bullshit written in there about how cute they are. And women know that these guys are throwing lines at them. So what they do, they come up with this type of standard. If there's one thing out of place, they're not going to date you. In other words, when you have a ratio of guys that are coming to your mailbox, they can be picky. And it used to be undesirables were the nicest. But when social media came, undesirables got on the social media and they became relevant. Also, you look at another social media platform that I'm doing right now called YouTube. Well, a number of these women, I don't care if they have weave or makeup, well, they have a lot of male subscribers. And these male subscribers are looking at them, not trying to hear what they are saying. They're looking at them, imagining being with them naked. Some of them are probably jacking off to some of these females because brothers, some of them have a sick mind when they don't have standards because their whole mindset revolves around sex. And this is why a number of brothers get the undesirable women of other races. That's why I say, brothers, yes, do we have some out of shape black women in our race? Yes. But you can't call them out unless you call the out of shape non-black women the same way. Because all you're doing, you're going from one to another. Now, the only difference is you may get somebody who has a better personality. Now, I can understand personality because when you get a little older, I'm 52 years old, I look at a woman for more than just her body, her personality, her behavior, really are the top two standards because you can be a 10 and have a shitty attitude. And there are a number of 10s out there who do because they have this attitude of entitlement. I am pretty. You need to pick me. Well, again, when you deal with women, women are petulant children. They do not live in the real world. And basically, they waste your time. They're not bringing anything to the table but their body. But brothers, when you allow the undesirable women to be relevant, you're boosting their ego. They think in their right mind that they can pull any man. But these undesirable women, when they come to men who have some type of stature, reject them, then you're going to see these undesirable women shaming some of these desirable men. Now, the types of undesirable women that I'm talking about, not just fat women, your single mothers, your church women, your educated women, and of course your career-minded women. Now, I'm not saying undesirable just about the looks. I'm saying an attitude and personality because it just seems to me as a black man damned if we do, damned if we don't. Because we can get a nice woman with a nice body, with a nice education. But we seem to attract all of the women, not just look-wise, but mental-wise, with the bad attitudes. And I'm going to tell you why this is happening. Because everybody sees how we're treated in the media. So they think the media treats us that way, they can treat us that way. But the problem with black men, we don't know how to organize with each other. We don't know how to disagree. So we allow this nonsense to take place. This is why having standards, understanding your worth, and knowing what it is to be a man, you don't have to deal with you don't have to deal with this nonsense. The problem with brothers, the big problem, is we don't know how to pick women. Because number one, of our economic status, and number two, we're just not confident in ourselves. See, it's easy for us to get the undesirable women. Why? Because we're going to do anything that takes less work. That's the problem with black men. When you want to do better in life, what do? You have to work harder to get it. The problem with us, we're comfortable. We're comfortable with an undesirable woman. We believe that we don't have to do any better. And what happens? We're stagnant. We don't grow. And a number of brothers don't know how to talk to women. That's why I encourage all you brothers to listen to those 3 videos that I wrote my dating rules on. There's 54 dating rules. Some of them may apply to you, some of them may not. But take a look at those 3 videos. Take a look at the princess syndrome. Because if you have the tools out here, it's going to be a lot easier to find women. Because we can't keep on being the punching bag for black women and for non-black women. And I'm talking about of the undesired range. We make undesirable women relevant. There's no sense in giving them compliments. Now, if you want to smash and dash, like I said before, you play at your own risk. Don't knock these broads up. Because if you do, now you got another problem. You have an undesirable woman who's going to have your baby, and when you want to get your life going, she's going to try to do anything to keep you down by leveraging that kid to obtain resources from you. Now let me switch gears for a moment. I know I mentioned black men, but there are also white men who get undesirable women as well because of their economic status. Because I've seen Poindexter-looking white men with fat black women. Like I said, I live in an area where it is pretty much mixed. And all I need to do is run into a Walmart, and that gives me my answer. Because Walmart has a lot of your undesirable people who shop there. I've seen Hispanic men with undesirable women. So I should have made this video about a number of men. Too many of us men have allowed ourselves to be played by the media, feminism, academia, politicians, and what has happened now when it even comes to picking women. We've all have sunken to an all new low because, to be honest with you, a lot of men have their confidence shattered. And the only way we'll get our confidence back is to look at ourselves and assess our worth. Guys, if a woman can value her pussy, you should be able to value your dick. But the reason why we don't value our dick because we stick our dicks in anything. And when you're looking for a nut, what are you going to do? You're going to proceed anywhere and everywhere without taking precautions. And when you do that, you don't look at the consequences. Now, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But again, like I told the brothers, my white brothers, you don't want a black woman who's trying to act like they are a valley girl, because that should be a turnoff as well. Because a number of the black women who come over to be with white men, and white men aren't the most desirable. This is when you see a number of them with their natural hair. Their speech is totally different. Their mannerisms are totally different because they believe that getting with that white boy is going to give them some status. It's not going to give them any status because the type of white boys that these black women are getting are bottom of the barrel white boys. They're not getting the top of the line white boys. Why? Because these white boys don't have any money. So what they're doing as well, the black women, just like the black man, the white woman, all we're doing is just swapping each other from race to race, but we're not going anywhere because economically we're getting the undesirables of each other's race. And that has always happened, and that will continue to happen. Now, I will say this about women. Women do have standards, but their standards are unrealistic. This is why a number of women find themselves getting the bottom of the barrel. What we're all doing when we don't have standards, we're settling. You should not settle. You must be honest about what you're looking for and take the time to go get it. Too many of us are trying to have our cake and eat it too. And at the end of the day, we don't look at the consequences. We don't look at the pain that we're causing ourselves as well as others. Because when we are looking for one thing, and I'm talking about as men, as sex, and the women for money, all we're doing is wasting time because we're constantly lying to get what we want. And when we lie, since we can't get anybody of relevancy, we try to climb down a ladder to get individuals who are undesirable. Why? Because they're gullible. And we figure we can talk a hole in their head to get them to comply to what we want. That works sometimes, that doesn't work sometimes. But at the end of the day, when we do not have standards, we keep ourselves in a quagmire. So I urge men in general, have standards. Value yourself. Do not let a woman value you. She does not understand what it is to be a man. Do not be afraid to be a man. Get some balls. There's no reason why men of any race should be getting undesirable women, because most of these undesirable women don't have anything they can offer us but pussy. Because many of them are bringing their baggage. And when they're bringing their baggage, it's toxic. And what does that do? That sets us back. You don't want to bring problems into your relationship. Not that attractive women don't have any problems, but this video is about undesirable women. So as men, take time, be patient, assess your worth. There are plenty of women out there. Once you gain confidence in yourself, you don't have any problems pulling decent women. But make sure you have your own. In order to build confidence, you must become self-sufficient. And once you become self-sufficient, you don't have to worry about utilizing undesirable women and building their egos up so they can reject men who have more than they have as well, and you're making them princesses. You're putting them on a pedestal. Don't do that. But men, if you're self-sufficient, you will gain the confidence to get a woman. Women are always going to be there. The bottom line that you men must understand is have standards. Don't be the scraps of non-black women or black women. Because at the end of the day, you and only you must understand and utilize your worth. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this evening, Sunday, September 3rd, 2017. You can tune in to the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't engage in debates, controversy, or emotional issues, nor do I participate in drama and or unnecessary bickering. Why? Because it's a waste of time and it's counterproductive. What I do on this channel is teach, because if you don't have the tools to go out to the real world, you're going to struggle. And when you're a man who doesn't have standards, you're going to end up picking undesirable women who are going to be toxic to your life. So, what I'm telling you men out there, when you check out my channel, I'm giving you information that is realistic and positive so you can apply the concepts to the real world. And when you have knowledge, you have power. And if you have a business, a topic, or a new YouTube channel that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. I will also be premiering my men's guide to dating smash and dash version, and that's for individuals who are just looking for temporary companionship, because I did my rules for individuals looking for wives, but there are men out there who are just looking to smash and dash. And when I tell you about smash and dash, men play at your own risk, but you have women out there who like sex just as much as us, but they play like they don't, and they try to disguise it with a relationship when we know that they are undercover hoes. Mark my words, women want sex just as much as we do. Don't be fooled that they don't want sex. Moving on. If you have a comment, please leave your comment in the comment section under the video, but make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed evening.